Hi, I'm Rasheed Ogunlaru, coach, speaker and author, and welcome to Catch the Coach, the February 2017 issue of Catch the Coach, your newsletter for success and fulfillment. And here we are in February, and the thing that is right at the heart, right in the middle of this month, is Valentine's Day. So we're talking about becoming who you are, we're talking about love in all of its dimensions. We're going to be talking about 5 different aspects of love. Self-love, family love. We're going to be talking about partnerships, love. We're going to be talking about your work type of love. And also we're going to be talking about things that you love to do. So we're going to be looking at all of those different aspects of love. First of all, just in terms of events, for those of you who are wanting to do what you love for a living, my Soul Trader Your Life, Your Business workshop is run once every month. The next time is the 8th of February, so that's coming very soon. Don't worry if you've missed it by the time you watch that, but 8th of February, British Library, Business and IP Centre. Follow the link below this video in order to join up to that. The next date after that is May, but all the dates for 2017 are on the website. Also, in terms of events, my Networking for Success event. Now this is a very, very popular event, again held at and in proud partnership with the British Library's Business Centre. It is an event, it's a workshop and a networking event to help you build your career, your business through relationships. So again, there is this theme about love and relationships and that flows through the thread of this newsletter. So the next date of that is the 21st of February and it's run monthly, so don't worry if you missed that one. Check the link below here again for the next date of that. Right, let's get on with it. Number 1, self-love. Without self-love, there is no love. Self-love is the foundation for all the other types of love. If you don't appreciate who it is you are, it's going to be really, the rest of life is going to be very, very challenging. The rest of life is never going to be fulfilling. You're always going to be doubtful because you don't have that love for yourself. My quickest tip to arrive at self-love is by simply embracing yourself as you are today. And life as it is today. All of a sudden the battles begin to ease as you just accept who it is that you are. With all your perceived strengths and all your perceived frailties, all of a sudden there's this pause in this battle. So self-love is number 1. And if you want more tips on that whole aspect of self-love, there's lots of videos here on my YouTube channel to help you on that journey to find self-love and that journey to become who you are. So that's number 1. Yeah, without it, life is hollow. Without it, there's no inner peace. Without that, all other relationships will be challenging. Without that, you'll always look at yourself and others and feel that you are complete or need others to make you feel complete. And without that, not all of your other relationships won't be able to really sing, dance and breathe. So that's self-love, number 1. Number 2, family love. Now this family love, of course, can be the most nourishing, comforting, unconditional love. But I'm also very mindful that for many it can be very challenging, it can be full of conflict, depending on how the dice have fallen in your particular case. And everybody is different with that. You might be with a genetic family, some may well be with a family who you've found yourself with, the people who've supported you. So the word family does mean very, very different things to people. My first tip is whatever has happened in the past, know that once you're mindful, that actually there's going to be a richness that's going to help you be more wise in moving further forward. My tip number 1 is to know that you don't own them, and therefore don't try to control them. Tip number 2, hug them, but don't keep them in your hold. People are on their own lives. Again, 3, let your differences be your richness, not your divisiveness. Tip number 4, give everyone else the space that they need to grow. So it can be really powerful to know the times when somebody in the family might need just space to be and breathe, or it is when they might need somebody close to support them. And 5, it's always wise to let everyone live their own life. Sometimes we can get caught up in vicariously trying to live our life through somebody else. That's not really a good idea. Let people live their own life and focus on yours. So that's family love. Next up, number 3 is friendships. Now friendships are often the most powerful, the most profound, and the most enriching. of all the different types of love. And again, these are the ones that are often very, they're again very unconditional, aren't they? Because there's just a connectivity that happens between two people that makes them become friends. So the first thing is when people say, "Oh, let's just be friends," that's an absurd thing, because friends is a very, very special type of a connection. I think my first tip in terms when it comes to your friendships is let all your friends know that you love them. I mean, they may well already know, but it can be really good just to let them know that you love them. To be grateful for all of your friends, past and present. Because some friends you might be lucky enough to have them for many, many years, many decades, most of your life, perhaps your childhood friends. But sometimes friends will go on their own paths. So tip number 3, be there when they call and they need that support, but also reach out to them when you sense that they need that support. And I think also tip number 4 is tied in with something I just said there, which is know that with friendships, that there'll be times when you come together, and there will be times that you drift apart, and there might be times when you come back together again. Sometimes then you might be traveling on your own ways. Know that that is part of the nature of the friendship relationships. Again, if you reflect on it, maybe some of the friendships you had when you were a child differed by the time you went to school. Perhaps when you went to school, after school you began work, some of those relationships that didn't chime with you, they drifted off, and so on throughout adult life. So I think the most important thing is to cherish and value those, going back to that first tip, to cherish all those friendships, past and present. And finally, number 5, which is wish them all well, whatever path they take, because otherwise you can, as with all relationships, carry a lot of energetic energy that is not nourishing to you, and that's going to keep you stuck, and perhaps them too. Right, we're getting through this very fast. So relationship number 4, aspect of love number 4, which is your partner, your lover. If you truly seek love, or if you truly seek to love more deeply, then live life with an open heart. I think that when I'm talking about partner kind of relationships, one of the things that strikes me is that the 3 tips that can often help these relationships, and again, of course, one-to-one relationships, partner, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, lover, call it what you like. These relationships take all sorts of different shapes, and that's the beauty of this special type of love, in which one often finds oneself, or it has that mirror back to oneself. So this can be the most potent type of love, but again, it can be a love that has its challenges. My tips for partnership relationships is this: honor 3 things. Honor you, that's that self bit. You've got to honor who you are. Honor them, let them be who it is that they are. And then honor the relationship, the space in between. Because then there are these 3 aspects. There's you, there's the other, and then there's this relationship in between. So the magic is where all these circles, if you like, you, them, the relationship, where they interlink. And that space is the sweet spot. And it might be at different times, different bits of those need to be tended. There might be times where it is that you need to focus on you. There might be times where they're going through challenges where you need to focus on them. There might be times where there's issues and you need to focus on the shape or the nature of the relationship. But again, as with all relationships, know that these relationships come and go. Some relationships will last for a season. Some may last for the best part of a lifetime. Again, wish everybody well. All the other things to the other relationships also relate. You don't own them, don't try and control them. I think that the secret with relationships is that you will want that person to grow and to fulfill who it is that they are in the world. And the more you do that self-love work, the less you will see yourself being completed by another. Complimented by another, yeah, but completed by another. Beware. Okay, we're nearly there. 5, and this is the one that, ironically, though people spend most of their life there, they often find most difficult, and that is your life's work, your career, your business. Many people see their life as work. They see the work that they do really as work, as a chore, not their love. Again, the same thing can happen with business. People feel that they walked out of one cage and they make another cage of their own making. So my first tip is find what you love, follow it, and become one with it. I mean, there's a lot of that in my Soul Trader book. There's a lot of that you'll see in my tips here on my YouTube channel about your career. But find what you love, follow what you love, become one with that you love. But my tips on that journey are: one, being clear. Be clear on roles, goals, your strengths, vision, values and needs, you, your organisation, customers who you're serving. Two, be consistent, be true to your word and do your best work. Number three, be caring, care about doing a good job and care about the people that you're working with and the customers. Number four, be considerate. Look at things from all viewpoints, not just your own, and that can be very challenging often in the heat of things, but it can be really good to be mindful and to try and have other people's interests at heart, not just your own. So that means that you need to find that room in your heart in order to do that. And five, crucially, be cheerful and cordial. Smiles, jokes, laughter, fun go a long way in any workplace. Those are useful tips. I want to just talk about two other things before we go. There's an extra, so I talked about the 5 dimensions of love: self-love, family love, loving friendships, partnerships, and the work that you do. But there's another dimension of love that I want to add into the mix, and that's things that you love. So don't get lost in the love of things, but rather in the love of the things that you love to do. But what I mean by that, don't forget about the fun, the pastimes, the hobbies, those interests, those things that really nourish you and bring your creativity through, the things that bring you joy, peace, that remind you what's really important. And these things often add not only a perspective on everything else in life, they can often enrich all those other aspects of your life and all those other relationships in your life. And finally, my tip for the month is to follow your heart. Often, and I say this many times here in these newsletters, often there is so much noise in life and that we have such noisy minds that we don't hear our hearts. So tip 1 is listen to your heart. Don't just think, but tune in, use your heart to tune into yourself and others. Tip 2, trust your heart. When you're decision making, do you just listen to this? Because sometimes you can be caught up in 2 minds. Check in with how you feel. And the third is to follow your heart. When you are unsure which path to take, follow your heart. You will very, very rarely regret a path that you've taken genuinely, deeply from the heart. There you have it. I want to wish you all the best, wish you lots of love for February and beyond. And thank you so much for tuning in. And remember, there's more of this stuff here on my YouTube channel, also on soultrader.biz. And there's lots of, if you want tools and resources, there's my Soul Trader book. You can get the audio version of that on rosario.com. Again, you can get the audio version of Become Who You Are. These are useful products for self-love on my website, and there's all sorts of other products as well as the Soul Trader book and the soul-trader.biz, B-I-Z website, which is a resource for those of you on that path to find what you love for a living, or who are already doing that. Take care, wishing you all the best. Bye-bye.